Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to film a video today where I wanted to get into a little bit of detail on how I use some of my books which are not meant for like planning or journaling. So these are things that you do not see on my regular planner chat or the one that I filmed on my Techo Kaigi. These are things that are not related to that, and these are not things that just span a specific amount of time. These are just things that I will continue to do, and I will say all three of these are relatively new projects because I was thinking I will try to consolidate some of the things that I've been trying to do in my planners into notebooks. They're dedicated notebooks because I did have stuff lying around. So as you can see, like this is a 2023 weeks that I had purchased in 2023, which was not being used, and I was like trying to figure out how to use that. And these are some of the ideas that I typically did. I think I will start with this one because that seems to be the oldest among these, but when I say oldest, I still mean like just a few. Maybe I started this like in 2024, and I'll be honest, I haven't gotten to it a lot. So this is basically what it's meant to be, is my free-for-all art notebook where I just want to draw whatever I want to draw and experiment with watercolor. I had purchased a watercolor set. This was way back, which I never used, and I think one of the things that kind of deterred me from using it was because I was just like not very sure how to mix colors, how to do stuff, but I experimented with it a little bit and kind of got to like a point where I'm comfortable with it, and the Tomoe River paper for watercolor is amazing. So just to give you like an idea of how this kind of started is when I was in my Hobonichi cousin for, I think this was 2022, the one that I used in 2022, I used to do a lot of artwork in there on pages, empty pages, and maybe I'll just hold on, let me find it. Okay, so this is the book that I'm talking about. This is the Hobonichi Techo Cousin 2022. This is the one that I fully used for that particular year. And this is the one that I used a lot, like did a lot of artwork on. And like I would typically have, at the start of every month, I would do some kind of an artwork. All of this is actually done with, I think it's done with like the Tombow dual brush pen, or the dual colors, these colors, what are these called? The Tombow water base. So this is very much like watercolor, and I had like one set of Tombow colors that I picked up, which was like a 10 color set that I was using to create like small artworks, especially the ones on the first page of the month, like the September. I would usually have like an artwork and something to write on there, and I really liked this idea when I had started this, and I think I stuck to it for the majority of this half year. You will see like colors around here, and you might also like, there are some stuff which I like I really like this one. This is an artwork that I pulled from one of the anime art books that I have, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. So I was just, and you can see these, I think they're from those tiny creatures in the anime. So I was just trying to like copy it and create them, and I really liked this idea, and I wanted to like continue doing some of it for the rest of the year, and I also wanted to see them more consistently in one particular notebook. And that's how like I figured it might be better for me to like try and consolidate those artworks into this notebook. And this time I did it with actual watercolors and not the Tombow brush pens, I think watercolor brush pens, and I really like it. I like the fact that, you know, I'm ignoring all of these things on the back. Like if this is the Calendex page and I'm just putting the, you know, the irises and the gladiolus, like these are just regular stuff that I'm not, like, these are not things that I've drawn from memory. Like I've seen something and I've just put this. This is an actual sandhill crane that comes to our house, and I took a picture of it, and I think I've also drawn the crane here. There you go. I actually like this one much better than this one, but yeah, I've been trying to do that a little bit, and you know, just a couple of fishes and figs, and there's a lot more that I have to do, and you know, this is the end of it. So I still have like a lot of pages left, and these are not things that I will finish. It's just stuff that I will continue. So that's why I have this, and I figured it would be better for me to consolidate all of that into this book. I feel like these are things that I will do as, you know, my life just continues taking place. So I'm happy that I started this. In case you don't know, it's the collaboration between Tokyo National Museum and Shibata Seishin. And their artwork is a lot of, I think most of the artwork of Shibata Seishin is like botanical based, but this one is like a plate of confectionaries, and I really like this. So that's the first one. So my second notebook, which I'm using as you know, maybe I'll continue from where I left off, which was my plan that I had used for the year 2022, where I was having that one artwork plus some writing, right? So what I like to read, I read a lot of manga, I read a lot of books. So most of the things that I've written down on these, you know, monthly overview pages are things that have really caught my attention when I'm reading stuff. So that's where I figured, since I've like separated the artwork into like one book, and this hobby of mine just continues to grow, I have now started like listing down things that I read which really catch my attention. It could be from manga, it could be from books, it could be from, you know, anything. And I do have like a small color coding just for my awareness. And it's just something that, you know, I would like to look at occasionally. I don't write every single thing, obviously. Like, it's not, there's very little that I've written here. But there are certain things that, you know, I read and I'm like, oh, that's like, that sounds really good, or that just really moved me when I was reading it. And half of the things that I've written here, I'll be honest, is from Noragami. Noragami is a manga about a stray god, and I absolutely love that manga, and even the words that they use in it. So I copy down things that I really love. There are a lot of good things like that that, you know, I find in manga that I really want to copy down, and maybe, you know, later when I'm looking back, it's really nice to look at. And one of the things that I do is I use, you know, the Sakura micron ink, like the size 10, which is the 0.6 mm tip. And that's like archival ink, so I'm sure that this will never like fade away. So I'm glad that that happens. And whatever like thoughts I have about like the notes that I've written, if I have any thoughts about like the quote that I've written down, I just write it in blue ink. And I really like it. It's not that I'm keeping up with it, but if I do find things that I really like, I either take a picture of it, like a coat, like a picture of the coat, and just continue like writing in it. And I just have this Hobonichi pencil board as well in here. And this book is actually from Sterling Ink, and this is like her you know, A5 gilded gold edge notebook, which I think really works well. This is also Tomoe River paper, and I really wanted to have this gold edge because I do find that, you know, the books that I read are really very special to me, and I did want to have like a little bit of luxurious feel when I was writing about them. So that's my second I wouldn't say project, it's just things that continue to happen. And you know, these are not planners or journals that I keep, but they are with me as well. The third and the last one that I have is this Hobonichi Weeks by this Hiroko Kubota. Yeah. I think the previous pencil board that I showed you is also by Hiroko Kubota. You know, you can really look at their illustration and know that this is from the same person. Like, it's very whimsical. It's very, you know, there's a component to it which makes you feel like, oh, there's something very magical about it. So this is the, what is it called? I will find it and just, you know, put it in the screen, the name of the actual book. But this is the 2024 Weeks, which I purchased for one of these projects of myself because I really wanted to get into learning the tarot. And I will be honest, it's not that I've, you know, kept up with it, but I have a tarot deck that I bought for learning, and I compare the illustrations that's on there to the actual, you know, Rider-Waite deck and see like what differences there are and how this deck is different from that, and just like write down what a typical, you know, major arcana or a minor arcana number means and how I can interpret this one in that way. So it's been I haven't kept up with it a lot, like I'm hardly just a few in, but I really like this idea of having like a small illustration. Like, I take pictures of that tarot deck on my phone, and I just use my regular printer to print it out, and I just stick it on here, and on the right I just write whatever I interpret from it, and also the actual meaning of that particular deck and how this illustration kind of relates to it. And it's been going well. I like the layout. You know, the Weeks is like a perfect size for your hobby kind of stuff. Like, if you're trying to keep up with a hobby, like, this size is perfect. And most tarot decks are actually like long, elongated, so it should go well with it either way. So I have a few that I've printed out that I need to learn, like stick and learn about and write about. But yeah, that's the third one that, you know, I picked up. I'm not using any of the monthlies, and it's just not meant for it. I mean, I could like use it for like a daily pull, but I've not done that. This is mostly not for you know, I'm not someone who has started like doing the actual pulling from the deck every day. This was just an interest for me to learn, and if later down the road I really want to engage myself more with it, then that's fine. I can use, you know, the same book or, you know, a different book to actually jot down the, you know, daily pull. And with the same thing here, like, I use the Sakura Pigma Micron ink because it's archival, it's pretty dark. I write things that may relate to this but are good. Like, one of the things that I was doing, I was listening to, there's this soundtrack by there's the soundtrack of this pretty old game called Alice Madness Returns. And when I was like looking at this deck, like the Fool, I was listening to that soundtrack, and you know, it went so well with it. So like things like that I just write down, and it's just a good memory. And I feel like this is probably what's you know, I like the format. I like the fact that it's working, and there is no rush for me to finish this, because this is a learning, right? This is a journey, and I'm happy with how far I've gotten, even if it's just like 3 or 4 cards. So I feel like this, you know, the whimsical nature of this particular Weeks fits perfectly for the deck that I'm also using. And I also have like this standard grid. I think this is the black, no, this is the navy and the pink pencil board, which is pretty good as well. So that's the last one. I think I will, I'll continue to do this. This is not like an everyday thing or even an every single month thing, but these are things that I like to do, hobbies that I like to spend my time on, and stuff that just makes me happy. So I will just continue doing them. Let me know if you guys have some things where, you're not necessarily using your books for as like a journal or a planner. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.